everybody. This is a Lamley Saturday Showcase. Maybe a bit selfish because I'm doing a model that I love, but I have no idea if anyone else does. It's a model that I think is somewhat underappreciated, kind of forgotten, but one that I think deserves its due. It's the car itself's getting its due these days. Now it's time for the Matchbox replica to get its due as well, and it's none of these three, to be honest. We've already talked a lot about the Audi RS6 Avant. Here's the Audi R8, Honda Civic Type R, all from the Superfast series released about 10 years ago. I bring these out first because I think they're good examples of Matchbox doing current cars. That's a bread and butter side of Matchbox, so we don't talk about a ton. We talk about utility cars, we talk about the classic cars. But if you look at Matchbox's history through the years, they have done so many current cars. Cars that we see on the road or think about, that are in the magazines because they're on the road at the time. Might be sports cars, might be real, like standard, just common sedans, whatever. But they do a very, very good job of them. All three of these are good examples of that. So is this one. This is the Lexus GS430. It's been out for quite a while. We haven't seen it in the Matchbox line for years because it's one of those that was current then, when it was first released in 2007, but is kind of gone full circle and is now considered somewhat of a classic. It's a car that many people are modifying, going VIP style. You see it at car shows, and that makes this one a very, very cool, call it a roundabout or return model. It might be a classic now. So I want to walk through all of the Lexus GS430s. I don't need to spend a lot of time on the releases. If you want to know what they are, I'm going to walk through them very, very quickly. But ultimately, you might want to just go get a few of these. Some of these are harder to find than others. This is by far the toughest. Anything from this Superfast line, and one day I'll do a full feature on this Superfast line, with this special packaging released in, I think, 2008, 2009. This one was the 2008. Let's walk through these very quickly, putting them on the little turntable. We start with this one. This model was released in 2007. When you talk about any of these cars, like I did the Audi RS6, these were released around the same time. You're going to see models from 5-packs, the basic line, and 10-packs. Those were all the different colors. This is from what we call the Matchbox Golden Age. At least I call the Matchbox Golden Age, and many of you have adopted that term. From about 2006 to about 2010, they were doing so many licensed cars. They were doing realistic decos and colors. Does it seem a bit familiar with what we're seeing in 2018 and 2019? Yep. All right, this is the first edition in bronze. There were two colors. One of those, this was from the 55th anniversary, as you can see right there on the roof. Notice that we just celebrated the Sapphire Gems in the 65th anniversary. Well, this is what they did last 10 years ago. It was this Lexus, it was a mini Austin minivan, and then a Ford Bronco, I believe, were the three models that were in this green color. They were recolors of the standard models. So very similar theme from what we have seen this year. Those were the two in 2007. There might have been a third. This silver one was also released in a 10-pack, and I believe it was from the exclusive 10-pack from that year. I've explained this before. They used to do models, or they used to do these 10-packs that had exclusive colors, and the last pack of the year was always new models, and I think this was part of that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where this one came from. So, basic range, 10-pack, and then it just starts jumping up all over the place. Now, we don't have that many versions of this Lexus. This dark blue was part of, I believe, the VIP 5-pack. Not much difference, and this is what I think was one of the difficulties of these cars back in the day, is that there's not much you can do with them. You can't put any side graphics on it. We all like realism. I loved it. I loved collecting them, but sometimes these kind of cars hung on the pegs, sadly. This one was in the VIP 5-pack. Then I believe that might have been it, because we saw this one, I think, was also in a 5-pack. I have my years all mixed up, so I don't even know if these are in the specific order. But this particular pearl white version is one of my all-time favorites, because it has the tan interior, has the full details, Lexus on the rear license. That is my second favorite release. My top release is the one I've already showed you, the Superfast in jet black. Look at the color of the interior. Look at all the details. Look at the silver trim around the windows. This one is a gem. Very, very difficult to find. If you see it on eBay or something like that, I would snag it no matter what the price if you like this car, because it is a tough one to get. That is the jet black Lexus. Then we saw them get a little creative with the colors. I like, that bronze color to start. I like the was okay, but then the silver, the dark blue, the pearl white, the black, red is pretty good. Obviously, it stands out on the peg, so you'll always see a red version of these releases. That was it. That was, I think, a basic range, and I think so were these. You have this aqua color, and then it finished off with, as things were kind of getting weird, the golden age was coming to an end in 2010, 2011. We didn't see the castings change until about 2011, 2012, but we started seeing colors change on these models. This one still had the realistic deco, but the color, that's pretty wild. Now, that might be a real color on a Lexus. I think all the other colors were real, and I imagine Lexus would only approve this one if it was an offered color. So maybe that's the case, but this was the final version that was released, I think, around 2011. It's been a long time since we've seen it. Hopefully we will see it again, because I think it is worth it. Now, that's a quick Saturday showcase, but that's a model that I think needs to be appreciated. You guys tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of the car. Tell me what you think of the model. Bye.